Chapter 21 Bloodline Transition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I suddenly got 2 gifts. Of course I have to try to see how it works. The effect of the storage soul guide is very simple. It is to put things. Yifeng's wristband has 8 cubic meters of space inside, and Ning Rongrong's is a little bigger, exactly 10 cubic meters, although it's a little smaller. Yifeng didn't dislike it. With this soul guide, it can already hold a lot of things. Then there is the Yin-Yang Jade Pendant. In terms of preciousness, although the soul guide is also precious, but at least there is a price. It is nothing more than a little higher price, but the Yin-Yang Jade Pendant is different. It can be said to be a priceless treasure, and it can be treated as a family heirloom in anyone's hands. The Yin and Yang Jade Pendant was divided into 2 pieces, and the effect of each piece was very good. Yifeng tried it, and after wearing the Jade Pendant, his practice efficiency increased by at least 10%. This is an incredible improvement, with Ning Rongrong's cultivation talent of innate 9th level soul power. After obtaining the dark side Jade Pendant, the cultivation effect is almost the same as that of innate full soul power. Of course, she is still incomparable with Yifeng. Firstly, Yifeng's martial soul has undergone 2 evolutions, and his cultivation talent has also improved a bit. Secondly, his meditation method can be practiced automatically 24 hours a day. 1 day of practice is worth several days to others. After all, no one can practice 24 hours a day. The combination of various factors allowed Yifeng to break through the first level and reach the 12th level in just 1 month. In the following days, Yifeng's life became peaceful again, except for studying and training. The rest of the time basically stays in the mimetic practice environment. 2 months later, Yifeng is practicing with sword Douluo. It's not appropriate to say that it's dual training. It should be said that sword Douluo is feeding him moves. I saw Yifeng flapping his wings, like an eagle pouncing on his food, a pair of sharp claws with bursts of cold light, surrounding sword Douluo at an extremely fast speed, sending out fierce attacks from time to time. But Jian Douluo stood there leisurely, without moving his footsteps, holding a branch in his hand. Yifeng's attack was neutralized by him lightly. Xiaofeng, you are a soul master of the agility attack system. If you don't make a move, you should use it. Once you make a move, you must use all your strength to kill with 1 blow. Don't just focus on making moves, but also observe the opponent's flaws. Resisting Yifeng's attack at will, Jian Douluo still gave some pointers. Brother Yifeng, come on, come on. On the side, Ning Rongrong watched the 2 fight excitedly, wishing to participate in it himself. It's a pity that until now, she hasn't broken through level 10, and she doesn't have her first soul ability. Grandpa Jian, I'm a soul master of the assault department, not the agility department. Hearing Jian Douluo's words, Yifeng stopped what he was doing and argued stiffly. It doesn't matter what soul master you are, what matters is that your fighting skills are not good enough. Jian Douluo didn't argue with Yifeng that he was a soul master, only his teacher can worry about this matter. Ding, your martial soul feels very powerless in the face of a powerful enemy. Under anger, the blood of your martial soul undergoes a leap. Ding, your martial soul has evolved into a sharp-tailed swift. In an instant, Yifeng only felt severe pain coming from his whole body, and his body also changed rapidly. First of all, the wings on the back, the original gray-black feathers began to change, and the color of the wings became silvery white. There are streaks of cold light shining on the edge of each feather, which is extremely sharp at first glance. The bird claws on both hands have also become more slender, and the nails of the sharp claws are extremely sharp. If it is caught, it will definitely make a hole. The martial spirit has mutated again. Jian Douluo stared at Yifeng, who was undergoing transformation, dumbfounded, and didn't know what to say. Really, let the old bone guy guess right. Xiaofeng's martial spirit has really evolved into a sharp-tailed swift. Grandpa Jian, what's wrong with brother Yifeng? Seeing Yifeng's pained look, Ning Rongrong hurried to the 2 of them and asked anxiously. Don't worry, this is a good thing. Xiaofeng's martial spirit is evolving. Jian Douluo comforted. So, brother Yifeng's martial spirit has evolved again? Ning Rongrong's eyes were still fixed on Yifeng. Obviously, Jian Douluo's words did not reassure her. It's not evolution again. The previous 2 times were martial soul mutations. This time is the real evolution. Sword Douluo explained. In fact, Jian Douluo felt it was not accurate to say that it was evolution. To be precise, Yi Feng's martial soul should have returned to his ancestors. This phenomenon has also appeared several times in the world of soul masters, because of the vicious mutation of the martial soul of the father's generation. After the martial soul is passed on to the children, the martial soul of the children returns to the ancestors, and the ancestors return to the appearance before the martial soul mutated. Yi Feng's mother, who was supposed to awaken the swift-tailed swift, turned into a sparrow due to a vicious mutation. But now Yi Feng's martial soul has returned to his ancestors, and has re-evolved into a sharp-tailed swift. Soon, through special communication means, Ning Fengji and Bone Douluo also came to the scene. At this time, Yi Feng's changes were coming to an end. This time the Wuhuan bloodline evolved, making Yi Feng look very embarrassed. There was blood all over his body, and his face was wet with sweat. The severe pain had already consumed a lot of physical strength. After the evolution was over, Yi Feng rolled his eyelids and passed out directly. Uncle Gu, quickly see how Xiaofeng is doing. Ning Fengji hurriedly said to Bone Douluo. While speaking, Ning Fengji summoned his 7 treasures glazed pagoda, and a white beam of light shot out from the 7 treasures glazed pagoda, instantly covering Yi Feng's whole body, repairing his body damage. It's nothing serious, it's just that this evolution consumes a lot. When he wakes up, just add more nutrition. After Ning Fengji's treatment, Bone Douluo checked again in detail, and then spoke to everyone. It's good that people are fine. Hearing this, Ning Fengji heaved a sigh of relief. Yi Feng is his precious disciple. If something goes wrong, I'm afraid it's too late to cry. However, it's a good thing that Xiaofeng's martial spirit has evolved this time. It seems that I have to make arrangements for some things. After relaxing, Ning Fengji began to make plans for the sect again. Yi Feng's martial soul has evolved into a sharp-tailed swift, so he can have a connection with the Minzhi clan. For the Minzhi clan, Ning Fengji is very optimistic. The martial soul of this clan has special advantages in reconnaissance. If the Minzhi clan can join the 7 treasure glazed tile school, it will be a great thing for the sect. It is even possible to establish contact with the other 3 major clans through the Minzhi clan. After just working hard for a while, Ning Fengji thought of many feasible plans, but in these plans, Yi Feng is the most critical part. Okay, let's send Xiaofeng back to the room first. If there's anything, we'll talk about it after he wakes up. Bone Douluo stood up, interrupting Ning Fengji's reverie. Yes, let's talk about Xiaofeng first. Ning Fengji also said hastily. End of this chapter. Chapter 22 The relationship between Yi Feng and Minzhi clan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 22 The relationship between Yi Feng and the Minzhi clan. In fact, the evolution of the martial soul this time has long been expected by Yi Feng. In the past 2 months, he has not been idle. The evolution rate of the martial soul increases a little every week on average. Although it is not fast, it is very stable. As early as a few days ago, the evolution rate of Wuhuan had reached October 10th, only one chance to evolve. In order to find this opportunity, Yi Feng found Jian Douluo and asked him to be his training partner. By the way, to see how strong his ultimate strength is, Sword Douluo readily agreed to Yi Feng's request, and he also wanted to know how much Yi Feng had grown. So the two hit it off and started a duel on the training ground, and the facts were just as Yi Feng expected. The irritable Wuhuan couldn't hold his breath at all. Just a little teasing, he became irritable, and his blood leaped directly. Let your martial soul evolve into a sharp-tailed swift. In addition to Wuhuan, Yi Feng has also gained a lot in other aspects. The first is the level. In 2 months, Yi Feng improved 2 levels one after another, reaching level 14. It was thanks to the help of the yin-yang jade pendant that he could improve so quickly, otherwise he would not have reached the 14th level so quickly. Then came Qibao Yuli meditation. With the blessing of the yin-yang jade pendant, the proficiency of meditation has improved very quickly. In just 2 months, meditation has broken through the small achievement and reached the great achievement, only a short distance from the consummation. There is also the acceleration of the first soul skill. This soul skill has already reached the stage of Xiaocheng. When Yi Feng releases this soul skill, he becomes more comfortable. It can be activated with just a thought, and he doesn't even need to release the martial soul. Finally, there is a newly learned distraction control. Since the introduction of distraction control, in just 2 months, distraction control has broken through the 3-aperture control heart and reached the 4-aperture constant heart. This speed can be said to be extremely fast. In the original book, when Ning Rongrong participated in the Soul Master competition, she was still in the state of the 3 apertures controlled heart. At the beginning, she didn't even fully grasp the 3 apertures controlled heart. At that time, she was already 13 or 14 years old, although there are also reasons why Ning Rongrong dislikes the difficulty of distracting and controlling cultivation, so he didn't pay much attention, but this also shows the difficulty of distraction control. And Yi Feng's ability to reach the state of 4-aperture perseverance in 2 months is enough to show how powerful his talent is. After sleeping for a day, Yi Feng finally woke up. The first time he woke up, Yi Feng opened his attribute panel. Host, Yi Feng, Martial Soul, Ordinary Sharp-Tailed Swift, 0/10, Grade, Th Grade, Soul Skill, Acceleration, Small Accomplishment, Skill, Qibao Liuli Meditation Method, De Shang, Distraction Control, for Orifices Persistence. My martial soul has really evolved. Seeing that his martial soul had really changed, Yi Feng was relieved. Then it is to feel the changes in the body. This feeling is even more surprising. After trying it out, he finally let him know what it means to be as light as a swallow and as fast as flying. Yi Feng even felt that the speed in the normal state was already comparable to the state of the martial soul possessed when the martial soul was still a sparrow. If you turn on martial soul possession now, wouldn't the speed be faster? Thinking of this, Yi Feng couldn't wait to try it out. Brother Yi Feng, are you awake? At this moment, Ning Rongrong's lovely voice came from outside the door. Rongrong? Yi Feng was taken aback, and hurriedly opened the door. When he opened the door, the little Ning Rongrong was standing pretty at the door, looking inside with a worried expression, as if in this way, you can see the movement inside. Brother Yi Feng, are you all right? The moment Ning Rongrong saw Yi Feng, Ning Rongrong threw herself into Yi Feng's arms excitedly. A layer of mist filled her eyes instantly. Her delicate appearance was very distressing. Hey, Rongrong, I'm fine, don't worry. Facing Ning Rongrong like this, Yi Feng felt moved. He also didn't expect that Ning Rongrong would care about him so much after only getting along for a short time. Under Yi Feng's comfort, Ning Rongrong quickly diverted his attention and became curious about his martial spirit. Brother Yi Feng, Dad said that your martial soul has evolved into a swift-tailed swift. Is it true? Let me see. Don't worry, let me eat something first, I'm almost starving to death. Yi Feng rubbed his stomach with a wry smile. He hadn't eaten all day, and his stomach was flattened with hunger. Soon, under Yi Feng's order, the maid Xiaozhu quickly prepared a sumptuous meal. Among them, there are many great supplements. While Yi Feng was devouring it, Ning Fengji got the news and rushed over with sword Douluo and bone Douluo. Teacher, Grandpa Gu, Grandpa Jian. Yi Feng put down the bowl and chopsticks, and greeted them politely. Xiao Feng, you're welcome, you eat yours, and when you finish eating, let us see the changes in your martial soul. Seeing Yi Feng's ruddy complexion, Ning Fengji felt relieved, and smiled gently at him. Okay. Yi Feng was not too polite, picked up the bowl and chopsticks again, and speeded up eating. Soon, a group of people came to an empty training ground. Ning Fengji and the others looked at Yi Feng expectantly, waiting for him to release his martial soul. Yi Feng didn't delay either. The martial spirit instantly possessed his body, and his body changed rapidly. Silver-white wings protruded from the back, and the edges of the wings lit up with a silver light, which was extremely sharp at first glance. Its body is covered with a layer of white feathers, and its claws have become a pair of sharp claws. Sure enough, it's a sharp-tailed swift. Xiao Feng, try your current speed. Ning Fengji had a flash of surprise in his eyes, and raised his head to urge Yi Feng. Yi Feng did not speak, but spread his wings. His body soared into the sky, and flew far away in an instant. Because the speed was too fast, afterimages were left in the air. The next moment, Yi Feng flapped his wings and returned to the original place again. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he wouldn't even know that he had moved. As expected of the sharp-tailed swift with the top speed, in terms of speed, there are indeed very few martial spirits that can match it. Bone Douluo sighed. Xiaofeng, do you know why your martial soul evolved into a sharp-tailed swift? Ning Fengji asked suddenly. Ah. Yi Feng was taken aback. Why? Isn't this all due to the system? Is there another reason? Yi Feng shook his head in confusion, expressing that he didn't know. This has to start with your mother. Then, Ning Fengji began to explain the origin of the sharp-tailed swift to Yi Feng. That is to say, my martial soul has something to do with the Minzhi clan. It wasn't until then that Yi Feng suddenly realized that his martial soul didn't evolve randomly, and it actually had something to do with blood. It's no wonder that when I heard the system beep, it reminded me that Wuhuan had undergone a blood transition. So that's what happened. Yes, as far as I know, your great-grandfather is the current patriarch of the Minzhi clan, and your mother is the youngest daughter of the patriarch's younger brother. Ning Fengji told the news he found. End of this chapter. Chapter 23 Ning Rongrong Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The head of the Minzhi clan is my great-grandfather. That Yi Feng was shocked by the news. Calculated in this way, wouldn't he have an irreconcilable relationship with Tang San? I remember that Bai He of Minzhi clan is Tang San's uncle, and Tang San's grandmother is Bai He's sister. This relationship is a bit complicated. Yi Feng sighed secretly. Because of the mutated spirit, your mother doesn't want to stay in the family any longer and leaves the Min clan alone. During your travels abroad, you got to know your father, and at his invitation, your mother also joined the 7 Treasure Glazed tile school. With Ning Fengji's explanation, Yi Feng finally knew about his parents' past. That is to say, my martial soul is not evolving, but returning to the ancestors. Yi Feng asked. Yes. Bone Douluo nodded beside him. Xiaofeng, I thought about taking you to the Minzhi clan to recognize relatives after a while. After all, the Minzhi clan is the one who knows the best about the martial spirit like the sharp-tailed swift. Ning Fengji asked. I'll listen to the teacher. Now that Ning Fengji has said this, what else can Yi Feng do? He can only agree. After all, Ning Fengji seemed to be asking him, but he had already made the decision for him. Of course, going to Min's clan is also good for Yi Feng. As he said, the sharp-tailed swift is the inherited martial soul of the Min's clan. In terms of understanding of sharp-tailed swifts, no one can compare with the Min family. In the Douluo continent, there is an advantage of inheriting the martial soul, that is. There are traces to follow in terms of matching the soul ring, although even with the same spirit, hunting the same kind of spirit beast, the effect of the spirit ring obtained is different, but in general, the difference is not very big. In this way, through summarization and statistics, you can roughly determine the effect of your own spirit ring, just like the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda martial soul of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School. There is also a set of inheritance system. Okay, let me make some arrangements, and we'll set off after a while. Ning Fengji said decisively. Regarding the Minzhi clan, Ning Fengji had ideas. Back then, the 4 major clans were attached to the Xuantian sect, and they were still very prestigious. It's a pity that because of the closure of the mountain by the Heoshenzong, the 4 major clans suffered heavy losses. In this matter, it was obvious that they were the victims, and were voluntarily given up by Heoshenzong. Therefore, even if he gathers all the 4 great clans, the Xuantian school will have nothing to say in the future. In terms of the overall situation and righteousness, Ning Fengji considered very clearly. Father, do you want to go out to play? I want to go too. Ning Rongrong hugged Ning Fengji's arm and began to act coquettishly. Okay, let's go together. Ning Fengji said dotingly. In the next period of time, Yi Feng began to work hard to adapt to the changes brought about by the evolution of Wuhuan. Although the system can automatically cultivate, but to fully utilize it, he still has to rely on himself. During the busy training, Ning Rongrong finally broke through to level 10, able to absorb her first spirit ring. Calculated. It took Ning Rongrong more than 2 months to upgrade from level 9 to level 10. This speed is not slow. On the contrary, this kind of cultivation speed can be said to be very fast. Brother Yi Feng, I have broken through level 10, and I can absorb the spirit ring. After breaking through, Ning Rongrong jumped up happily. Congratulations Rongrong, you will be able to become a soul master soon. Yi Feng was also very happy. Before there is no soul ring, it can only be called a soul warrior. Only after absorbing the soul ring and reaching the 11th level can it be called a soul master. When I become a soul master, I will be Brother Yifeng's assistant soul master, and we will defeat Grandpa Jian together. Ning Rongrong waved her small fist fiercely. Okay, then Brother Yifeng will protect your safety in the future. Yifeng said dotingly. Yifeng was also in a particularly good mood when he came into contact with Ning Rongrong, a cute little girl. Ning Rongrong, just like his little sister, is cute and mischievous. I want to tell Dad, Grandpa Bones, and Grandpa Jian the good news. Ning Rongrong ran to Yifeng's side slowly, took his hand and walked out. Slow down, don't fall. Accompanied by Yifeng's instruction, the two walked out of the mimetic practice environment together. When they found Ning Fengji and told him the good news, Ning Fengji also seemed very happy. My family, Rongrong, is really powerful, breaking through so quickly. I'm really amazing. Ning Rongrong raised her chin proudly, and praised herself as well. Yes, my family Rongrong is the most powerful, so tomorrow I will ask your Grandpa Jian to accompany you to hunt for soul rings. Ning Fengji pinched Ning Rongrong's nose and said dotingly. Brother Yifeng will go with me too. Ning Rongrong turned to look at Yifeng. Of course. Yifeng nodded affirmatively. Absorbing a spirit ring is a big deal. Although he can't help much, he still wants to witness it. Well, it's good to go out and see more. By the way, don't be in a hurry to come back. I can let your Grandpa Jian take you to practice. Ning Fengji said. Okay, teacher. Yifeng's eyes lit up. If he could fight with different spirit beasts, maybe the evolution speed of the martial spirit could be improved faster. After Wuhuan evolved into a sharp-tailed swift, Yifeng's evolution rate also began to slow down. Basically, he could only gain a little evolution rate every 10 days. If it can speed up the evolution rate a bit, it is of course the best. He also wanted to see what kind of soul beast he would evolve into after his martial soul evolved to the top state. Soon, Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo also got the news and came before Ning Rongrong. My little princess broke through so quickly, congratulations. Sword Douluo said with a big laugh. Grandpa Jian, Grandpa Bone, Guang Daoshi is not enough, don't both grandpas give Rongrong some gifts? Ning Rongrong asked with sly eyes, since getting the yin-yang jade pendant from Bones and the storage soul tool from Sword Douluo, Ning Rongrong seemed to have tasted the sweetness, and often tried every means to get things from them. The treasures of the two Douluo were almost taken away by Ning Rongrong. Of course there must be a gift. This is a gem I got a few days ago, and I gave it to Rongrong as an upgrade gift. Bone Douluo was amused by Ning Rongrong's appearance, but he was also generous, directly took out a beautiful gemstone from his bosom, and handed it to Ning Rongrong. What's so interesting about gems, Rongrong? This is the little doll I prepared for you, it's so fun, and it can sing. Sword Douluo didn't want to be outdone, and soon gave out his own gift. Thank you two grandpas. Ning Rongrong accepted the gift happily, and at the same time, did not forget to thank the two Douluo. Uncle Jian, Uncle Gu, stop doting on Rongrong, you see, you are almost spoiling her to the sky. Ning Fengji looked at the two Douluo helplessly. It was because of them that every time Ning Fengji wanted to discipline Ning Rongrong, he would be blocked. It's either this person blocking it or that person blocking it. In short, I just don't want Ning Rongrong to suffer any grievances. Hearing Ning Fengji's words, Ning Rongrong proudly made a face at him, hiding her small body behind the two Douluo, obviously using them as a protective umbrella. End of this chapter. Chapter 24 Experience. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After 3 months, Yifeng came to Sunset Forest again. Together, there are Ning Rongrong and Sword Douluo. This time he came to Sunset Forest to hunt for Ning Rongrong's first spirit ring. Ning Rongrong's 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda has been passed down in the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School. There are a lot of researches on spirit rings at various stages. For Ning Rongrong's first spirit ring, they already had their own goals. Rongrong, Xiaofeng, let me ask you a question, do you know where Dolly Bear lives? Jian Douluo asked. Ah! Ning Rongrong was stunned for a moment, and was stumped by this question for a moment. When she couldn't remember, she tilted her head like Yi Feng to ask for help. Spirit beasts like Dolly Bear usually live alone. They live near water sources and like to live in caves. Yi Feng recalled the knowledge taught by Douluo, and said. Well, not bad, but it's still too difficult to find the trace of Dolly Bear with this little information. Hearing Yi Feng's answer, Douluo nodded and agreed with him. Then how should we look for it? Yi Feng asked curiously. Of course we collected information in advance. The setting sun forest is so large, if we don't collect information in advance, it will only delay time. Before I came, I already knew the general living area of Dolly Bear. Come with me, Douluo said lightly. There are so many disciples of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School, and a lot of information about the soul beasts of the Sunset Forest has been collected. Before coming, Douluo had already made preparations. So Grandpa Jian has already prepared it. Ning Rongrong looked at Douluo happily. This is our little princess's first spirit ring, of course everything must be prepared in advance. Douluo laughed and waved his hands. Let's go. If you meet a suitable target on the road, Xiao Feng can experience it by the way. Only through actual combat can you become a qualified combat-type soul master. Okay. A light flashed in Yi Feng's eyes, and he suddenly looked forward to this trip. Ning Rongrong had never been to Sunset Forest, so she was very curious about everything she saw, especially those weak soul beasts that were not afraid of life just now. Wow, there's a little rabbit there, Brother Yi Feng, shall we catch it? Is that a squirrel? It's so cute. Snake, what a big snake, it's too scary. Brother Yi Feng, come and kill it. Along the way, Ning Rongrong's chattering voice never stopped. It's just on the outskirts of the forest, and with Douluo always by his side, there's no need to worry about safety, so let her play. As for Yi Feng, in the forest, he feels like a fish in water, although the aura here is not as high as the mimetic cultivation environment, everything is very primitive. When I first came here, the speed of Qibao Yuli meditation in my body was much faster. Rongrong, don't play anymore, the next spirit beast may take the initiative to attack. Xiaofeng, take care to protect Rongrong. I won't make a move for the rest of the journey, it's a test for you. After walking for about an hour, Douluo's voice appeared in the ears of the two of them. The next moment, Yi Feng only felt that the aura belonging to Douluo disappeared quickly. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he would not have noticed his existence at all. Okay. Yi Feng blocked Ning Rongrong with his body vigilantly, and walked ahead to open the way. At the same time, his attention was also concentrated. A pair of sharp eyes scanned the surroundings, paying attention to the surrounding movements. He knew that this was Douluo's test for him. Only in actual combat can you grow faster. At this time, Ning Rongrong calmed down in a sensible manner, stretched out his hand to hold Yi Feng's clothes, and followed Yi Feng's footsteps step by step. Suddenly, Yi Feng's eyes narrowed, he stopped, and put on a fighting action. The next moment, a green boa constrictor appeared on the road ahead, spitting out a scarlet snake letter from time to time, looking at Yi Feng with hostility. Jade phosphorus snake. That the first time he saw this snake, Yi Feng knew that this battle was inevitable. A soul beast like the jade phosphorus snake is very aggressive, and once encountered, it is impossible to leave peacefully. I took a look at the length of the jade phosphorus snake. It was about 3 meters long. Judging from the length of the snake's body, it was a soul beast that was more than 300 years old. Rongrong, step back a little. Yi Feng waved his hand to Ning Rongrong, and the martial soul possessed him instantly. Ning Rongrong stepped back obediently, and didn't stop until she felt safe. Brother Yi Feng, come on. Facing the upcoming battle, Ning Rongrong was not only not afraid, but was very excited, raising his small fist to cheer for Yi Feng. Hiss. Sensing the fluctuation of soul power on Yi Feng's body, the jade phosphorus snake moved instantly, and saw its tail flick, and its head shot towards Yi Feng like a cannonball. Whoosh. Yi Feng tapped his toes, advancing instead of retreating. His sharp claws shone with a deep cold light, pressed against the head of the jade phosphorus snake. and ruthlessly slashed down along its body, stab it. The sharp claws penetrated deeply into the snake's skin, and a deep wound appeared on the body of the green phosphorus snake. In just a split second, Feng used the momentum of both sides to severely damage the jade phosphorus snake. The body was injured, but it aroused its ferocity. The jade phosphorus snake suddenly turned its head, and a stream of green venom spewed out from its mouth. Before the violent poison came close, Feng felt a burst of suffocation. Swish. At the moment of crisis, Feng spread his wings and his body soared into the sky. After avoiding the venom attack of the jade phosphorus snake, Feng swooped down, activated his accelerated soul skills, and his body turned into an afterimage that appeared above the jade phosphorus snake's head. A pair of sharp claws swiped quickly, cutting off half of the jade phosphorus snake's head in an instant. Even the brains were blown out. Although he was fatally injured, the jade phosphorus snake did not die immediately. Instead, it exhausted its last strength, and its tail swept towards Feng like a long whip. But after turning on the acceleration soul skill, Feng's speed was too fast. The moment the snake's tail just moved, he had already retreated quickly, waiting for the death of the green phosphorus snake. Boom. The snake's tail didn't reach Feng, but because of too much force, it hit the jade phosphorus snake's own head directly. The remaining half of the head was beaten to pieces by itself. Yeah, brother, Feng won. Seeing that the big python lost its head, Ning Rongrong jumped up happily. Don't come over in a hurry, wait until it's completely dead. Feng stopped Ning Rongrong from running over. As we all know, even if a snake is dead, its body is still alive. If it is not careful, it will be bad if it is injured. Sure enough, even without its head, the jade phosphorus snake's body was still moving. After it struggled for a while, its body finally lost its strength, and a yellow soul ring emerged from its body, hovering above its body. Is this the soul ring? So the soul ring looks like this. Until then, Ning Rongrong trotted to Feng's side, and said curiously. Well, I killed this snake, and only I can absorb it. It's a pity that I don't need a soul ring, so I can only waste it. Feng explained to Ning Rongrong after removing the spirit ring. End of this chapter. Chapter 25, Hunting the Soul Beast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Douluo, who had been following behind him all the time, saw that Feng had simply dealt with the jade phosphorus snake, and a hint of admiration appeared in his eyes. At the same level, soul beasts are generally stronger than soul masters. Feng can kill the jade phosphorus snake with one blow in such a short period of time. Even Sword Douluo can't find fault. Even Sword Douluo had to appreciate this kind of fighting ability. Of course, it has to be said that this is what he taught well. If it wasn't for his hard teaching, Feng would not have the current combat power. Therefore, the better Feng performed, the more proud he was. Ding, after a crushing battle, your martial soul is very proud. Under the excitement, the evolution rate of the martial soul has increased, and the progress is 2 out of 10. Ding, your accelerated soul skill has performed well in actual combat, your proficiency has been greatly improved, and your realm has broken through to a small success. In an instant, Feng only felt a warm energy spread throughout his limbs, and the martial spirit in his body became more active. At the same time, a wave of knowledge about the application of accelerated soul skills appeared in my mind. Even if the soul skills were not activated, the body would spontaneously change its movement posture, subtly increasing the speed. The soul skill has reached the realm of Xiaocheng, allowing him to have a deeper understanding of the operation method of the skill. Now, he can even use it instinctively, without thinking at all. Let's go. Next, Feng led Ning Rongrong to continue on the journey, and encountered some soul beasts along the way, but Feng solved them all by himself. With each battle, Feng's combat ability is also gradually improving. When fighting, his shots are more crisp and decisive. Following the path pointed by Sword Douluo, after 3 hours, they finally came to the place where the strong bears haunted. Brother Feng, the one in front is the strong bear, right? Ning Rongrong pulled Feng's clothes and whispered in his ear. What appeared in front of Feng was a giant black bear about 3 meters tall. It should have finished eating and was about to go back to rest. It wobbled as it walked, and didn't notice Feng and Ning Rongrong at all. Yes, this is Diligoma. Judging by the length of its hair, it is about 400 years old. Yi Feng carefully identified the knowledge he had learned while recalling it. Can this soul beast be my soul ring? Upon hearing that it was a 400-year soul beast, Ning Rongrong's eyes brightened instantly. Well, yes. Yi Feng turned his head to look at Sword Douluo who was following him, and seeing that he didn't respond, he immediately knew what he should do. With Jian Douluo like this, he obviously let him solve it by himself. But Yi Feng is not afraid. The 400-year-old soul beast is nothing more than a soul master when converted to human cultivation. He is not even afraid of a great soul master, let alone a soul master. With his speed, he is most suitable for dealing with this kind of power-type soul beast. Rongrong, you hide on the side and watch my brother help you hunt down soul beasts. Yi Feng's eyes froze, and he became sharp in an instant. Well, brother Yi Feng, come on. Ning Rongrong seemed to have a kind of blind confidence in Yi Feng, and he didn't have any doubts about him being able to clean up the strong bear. Seeing that Ning Rongrong was well hidden, Yi Feng felt relieved. With Sword Douluo watching, nothing would happen to Ning Rongrong. In this way, he can fight boldly with confidence. Looking at the back of Vigorous Bear, Yi Feng quietly used his martial soul possession, restrained his aura, spread his wings, flew steadily into the air, and chased Vigorous Bear. This time, he was going to assassinate this big guy, preferably with one blow. Following the strong bear closely, Yi Feng began to prepare, and quietly released the accelerated soul skills, and the soul power condensed on the sharp claws, making the claws sharper. The next moment, Yi Feng exploded with all his soul power, and his body flashed in mid-air, and when he reappeared, his body had already appeared beside the strong bear. The claws pierced the head of the bear like a sharp sword. Roar! Up with a loud roar, a wave of soul power erupted from Vigorous Bear, and when Yi Feng's claws only pierced halfway, a strong force struck, and Yi Feng's body was thrown away. In mid-air, Yi Feng flapped his wings, and after he stabilized his body, he rushed towards the bear again. At this time, the strong bear on the ground was seriously injured by his stabbing just now. On the forehead, blood was flowing from the caves, and he couldn't cover it. Roar! Seeing Yi Feng charge again, the big bear opened its mouth and kept yelling at him, as if trying to scare him away, but Yi Feng was not frightened. Seeing that there was no chance to make a move, he simply landed on the ground and quickly circled the bear, waiting for an opportunity to make a move. With the acceleration turned on, Yi Feng made a detour behind the back before Dolly Bear could react, and slashed fiercely across Dolly Bear's body with his sharp claws. The fur on the bear's body is not weak in defense. Every time it penetrates, it only causes a small injury to the bear. For the huge bear, this injury is not serious, but Yi Feng was not in a hurry. Just like an excellent hunter, he just kept harassing the bear to make him tired, because it was attacked by Yi Feng just now. As time went by, Dolly Bear's reaction ability gradually weakened. In the end, as if resigning to his fate, he let Yi Feng attack, and he didn't even have the strength to fight back. Yi Feng didn't stop his paws until it was confirmed that the bear had only its last breath left, and waved to Ning Rongrong who was hiding behind the tree trunk, telling her to come over. Seeing Yi Feng's signal, Ning Rongrong ran over with her calves stepping. Rongrong, get rid of it quickly, absorb its soul ring, and you can become a soul master. Looking at the dagger that Yi Feng handed over, Ning Rongrong's eyes flashed a trace of unbearable. Looking at the strong bear exuding the breath of a beast, he was even a little timid and didn't make a move for a long time. Rongrong, hurry up, only the soul beast that you personally kill can absorb its soul ring. Wait a moment, after it dies, you can't absorb its soul ring. Yi Feng continued to urge. Now that he has become a soul master, killing soul beasts is inevitable. Although Ning Rongrong is still young, but for the future, Yi Feng can only urge him ruthlessly. Brother Yi Feng, I dare not kill him. Ning Rongrong looked at Yi Feng pitifully, but did not dare to do anything. How about this, you close your eyes, I'll hold your hand, and you can just stab down hard later, okay? In desperation, Yi Feng thought of a way that was not a solution. Hearing this, Ning Rongrong nodded hastily, fearing that Yi Feng would not help her if she moved too slowly. Under Yi Feng's guidance, Ning Rongrong closed his eyes and finally got a blood. Originally, Dolly Xiong only had his last breath left, but Ning Rongrong easily completed the first kill. Soon, after the strong bear died, a yellow soul ring floated out, slowly floating in midair. "It's great, Rongrong, you succeeded." Yi Feng's surprised voice came, and Ning Rongrong subconsciously opened his eyes. The next thing is simple. Under Yi Feng's guidance, Ning Rongrong summoned his own 7 treasures glazed pagoda, and using the traction of his martial spirit, he sucked the spirit ring into his body. End of this chapter. Chapter 26 Simulating Ning Rongrong's Soul Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing that Ning Rongrong began to absorb the spirit ring, Douluo walked up to him, no longer hiding his aura. Awed by his aura, no spirit beast dared to disturb him. Along the way, Yi Feng's performance satisfied him. Now that Ning Rongrong has started to absorb the soul ring, Yi Feng's experience has also come to an end. Xiao Feng, it seems that after a lot of experience, your mastery of soul skills has improved again. Seeing Yi Feng's fierce aura, Douluo nodded in satisfaction. Well, after the actual combat training, the harvest this time is really not small. Yi Feng nodded. To be honest, he didn't expect that after mastering the soul skills to a small degree, the combat power would increase so much. Even the 400-year-old Hercules was easily dealt with by him. Here, Ning Rongrong is still absorbing the spirit ring. Although it was the first time to absorb a spirit ring, Ning Rongrong had learned this knowledge long ago, and there were no accidents during the refining process. 2 hours later, with the fluctuation of Ning Rongrong's spirit power, Dolly Bear's the spirit ring was also completely absorbed. Ning Rongrong, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground just now, collapsed and said excitedly, "Brother Yi Feng, Grandpa Jian, I have finally become a soul master." "Amazing, Rongrong, you have absorbed the soul ring so quickly." Yi Feng smiled, and he opened his mouth to praise. "Rongrong, do you know the effect of your soul ability?" "Feel it quickly." Sword Douluo asked. "Well, let me see." Hearing Douluo's words, Ning Rongrong felt it carefully, and after a while, opened his eyes proudly. "My first spirit ring is a strength increase. Currently, it can increase my strength by 20%. Every time I add a spirit ring in the future, the effect will increase by %. How about time, how long can it last?" Yi Feng asked. Ning Rongrong pointed at his chin and said with a smile, "It depends on the person to bless. If it's Brother Yi Feng, it should be able to last for about half an hour." "Very good, half an hour is enough to resolve a battle." Yi Feng nodded. Brother Yi Feng, do you want to try my soul skills? I will assist you." Ning Rongrong said eagerly. "Okay, just let me feel the effect of blessing." Yi Feng nodded. To be honest, he was quite curious about Ning Rongrong's soul skills, especially that this kind of power can be blessed on others. "Then I'll start." Ning Rongrong's body turned in a circle, and a dazzling 7-colored light was released from the body, and then converged into the palm of his right hand. In the gathering of light, a 7-colored pagoda appeared in Ning Rongrong's hand. The 7 treasures are famous, and one says, strength. Following Ning Rongrong's soft shout, the first soul ring under his feet rose and covered the 7 treasures glazed tower. Under Ning Rongrong's control, a 7-color light was released and shrouded Yi Feng's body. In the shroud of light, Yi Feng only felt a heat burst in his body, and his whole body was full of strength. Ding, your martial soul felt the blessing of a strange soul skill, and was full of curiosity about the power of this blessing, and began to analyze the principle. Ding, after analysis, your martial soul has simulated the effect of a soul skill. Ding, you have obtained a new soul skill, power increase. The continuous beeps made Yi Feng almost scream out of excitement. He didn't expect that his martial soul was so powerful that he could even imitate soul skills. The next moment, a method of soul power operation suddenly appeared in Yi Feng's mind. This method of operation is like a practice method. As long as you operate the soul power in a specific way, you can increase your own strength. With a thought, Yi Feng summoned the attribute panel. Host, Yi Feng, martial soul, ordinary sharp-tailed swift, 2/10, grade, th grade, soul skill, acceleration, small accomplishment, skill, 7 treasures glass meditation, Deshang, distraction control, 4 orifices persistence, strength increase, 20%, seeing the effect of the power increase, Feng had an idea, and immediately activated the operation method in his mind. Just for a moment, Feng felt a burst of power in his body, and his whole body actually rose again. It actually increased by 20% on the original basis, which is a bit amazing. Feeling the soaring power in his body, Feng was secretly excited. Ning Rongrong strength increase, plus his own strength increase. All of a sudden, he increased his strength by 40%, and now, Feng felt that he had made a lot of money. Brother Feng, how do you feel? Is my buff useful? Ning Rongrong asked expectantly. Very good, very powerful. Suddenly getting a boosted soul skill from Ning Rongrong, Feng's eyes on her changed. Since he can copy one soul ability, he can copy the second one in the future. Ning Rongrong is simply his lucky star. It's amazing. After receiving Feng's affirmative answer, Ning Rongrong raised her chin and started to shriek. Okay, since the matter is over, let's go back. Sword Douluo looked at the sky and said, just go. Sword Douluo summoned a flying sword, took Feng and Ning Rongrong to the sky, and rushed to the 7-treasure glazed tile school. Sitting on the flying sword, Feng was still thinking about what happened just now. It is a new discovery that Wuhuan can imitate soul skills. It is not that he has never seen soul skills before, but he has never seen such a situation. This made him guess that only after Ning Rongrong's auxiliary soul skill was blessed on him, the effect of the soul skill was sensed by the martial soul, and then simulated and replicated. This kind of speculation gave him a new idea. Since Ning Rongrong's soul ability can be copied, then can Ning Fengji's. After all, Ning Fengji is also an auxiliary system soul master. If Ning Fengji were to bless all the boosted soul skills on him once, wouldn't it be possible to copy the same? This guess made Feng hot in an instant. He wished he could go back to the 7-treasure glazed tile school immediately and try out his own ideas. Sword Douluo's flying speed was still very fast. With his speed, the 3 of them returned to the 7-treasure glazed tile school within a short time. After returning to the sect, the 3 of them came to the main hall of the sect together and reported the trip to Ning Fengji. Father, we're back. The first time he saw Ning Fengji, Ning Rongrong ran over, begging for praise. Rongrong is back. How is it? The absorption of the spirit ring this time is going well. That with his strength, of course he has already noticed the uncontained aura on Ning Rongrong. The reason why he asked this question is just to listen to Ning Rongrong's own narration. It went well. Brother Feng helped me hunt my soul ring. He is amazing. Ning Rongrong hugged Ning Fengji's arm with a proud expression on his face. Xiao Feng is good, thank you for your hard work. Ning Fengji nodded to Feng with satisfaction. It's all taught well by the teacher, Grandpa Jian, and Grandpa Gu. Feng said modestly. Xiaofeng's strength is quite good for being able to hunt and kill a bear that has been around for 400 years alone. Beside him, Sword Douluo smiled. End of this chapter. Chapter 27 Sword Douluo's self-created soul technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Teacher, can you let me feel the effect of your soul skill? I want to feel the difference between other auxiliary soul skills. Ning Fengji was his teacher. Feng was not polite, and directly put forward his request. Feel the soul skill. Ning Fengji was taken aback, and then a smile appeared on his face. It seems that you have felt the auxiliary effect of Rongrong. Yes, I'm very curious about the teacher's auxiliary soul skills. Feng looked at Ning Fengji with bright eyes. The expectation in his eyes was almost visible to the naked eye. He was looking forward to it, and his guess came true. If the guess becomes a reality, then he will have countless soul skills. Ning Fengji looked at Feng amusedly, and said, okay. Teacher will demonstrate it for you. For Ning Fengji, this request was not troublesome, it was a matter of reaching out. He stretched out his hand and made a move, and a crystal-colored 7 treasures glazed pagoda appeared in his hand. As the light burst out, soul skills fell on Feng's body one by one instantly. Strength increase, agility increase, soul power increase, defense increase, under the blessings of various auxiliary soul skills, Yi Feng only felt a powerful feeling reaching the bottom of his heart, and he couldn't wait to vent it. The reason why the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect became the #1 auxiliary soul sect is the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda, the evaluation of the martial soul of Qibao. Liuli Pagoda in the world of soul masters is only a simple sentence, Douluo Dalu, the most powerful auxiliary martial soul, the best partner of all fighting soul masters. Even the token logo of the Wuhuan temple has the pattern of the Seven Treasures Glazed Pagoda. The reason why spirits like the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda are so powerful is that every time a spirit ring is upgraded, not only can one more attribute be improved, but at the same time, all the attributes that can be improved by the previous spirit ring will be increased by another percentage. 10. With Ning Fengji's level 79 strength, each soul ring has a boost effect of up to 80%, and now he has 6 soul ring effects for Yi Feng. With so many soul skills, Yi Feng has already been strengthened to a certain extent. Yi Feng reckoned that with his own strength after blessing, it would be no problem to challenge a 30-level soul master. It can be seen from this that with the help of an auxiliary system soul master, how great is the improvement in combat effectiveness, but these are not the focus of Yi Feng's attention. What really makes him look forward to is the martial soul simulation effect. Ding, your martial soul has noticed that the power of the blessing soul skill is too high-end, and even the strength of the breastfeeding has not simulated the effect of the soul skill. As if sensing Yi Feng's thoughts, the system's notification sounded in time. This. Although he was a little disappointed, Yi Feng was not depressed either. Although his martial soul did not simulate successfully, it also proved that the martial soul can indeed simulate soul skills, or even the soul skills applied to him can be simulated. It's just that Ning Fengji's level is too high, and his martial soul is not capable of imitating it. But this is not important, the strength can be improved. He believes that when his level rises, the martial soul will be able to simulate more soul skills. How is it? How does it feel? Ning Fengji's smiling voice came. Yi Feng came back to his senses, and said with a smile on his face, "Teacher, I feel very good. As expected of a teacher, I have more than doubled my strength. The Qibao Glazed Tower is so strong. In team battles, auxiliary soul masters are indeed more important. A good auxiliary soul master is sometimes more useful than a combat-type soul master. So when fighting in a team, the auxiliary soul master is often the first protection target." While letting Yi Feng see the effects of soul skills, Ning Fengji was also teaching soul masters knowledge, letting him know the importance of assisting soul masters. "Teacher, I understand," Yi Feng said seriously. "Okay, let's go to practice if you have nothing to do." Ning Fengji waved his hand, indicating that Yi Feng can leave. "Is teacher?" Just as Yi Feng was about to leave, Sword Douluo's voice came from beside him. "Xiaofeng, you performed well today. The teacher decided to pass on your new fighting skills. Come with me." A new fighting skill? Could it be a soul skill? Looking at Jian Douluo's leaving back, Yi Feng hurriedly followed. When the two came to the training ground, Sword Douluo said to Yi Feng, "During this period of time, your foundation has been almost done. Recently, Grandpa summed up a set of fighting methods, named 7 Killing Swordsmanship, and I will teach you now." Swordsmanship? Hearing that it was just swordsmanship, Yi Feng was not very interested. His martial soul is not a weapon martial soul. When he uses the martial soul to possess his body during battle, his hands will turn into claws, and it is not very convenient to hold a sword, so this set of sword skills is a bit tasteless to him. "Huh, you little guy, don't underestimate my swordsmanship." Seeing Yi Feng's expression, Jian Douluo didn't know what he was thinking. "Grandpa Jian, I didn't underestimate your sword skills, but I didn't have the chance to use them in battle," Yi Feng said helplessly. "Hey, why are you so brain dead? Don't stick to the form, although it is swordsmanship, but if you practice it well, you can turn him into fists, palms, or even claws. And have you forgotten your wings? Aren't they natural weapons?" Jian Douluo's words made Yi Feng stunned in place. He thought that swordsmanship meant only fighting with a sword. "It turns out that there are so many doorways here. As Sword Douluo said, he only used his wings as flying tools, and never considered using them for attacking, but in fact, his wings are also a sharp weapon, especially the position of the wing tip, which is very sharp. If he can use it effectively, his fighting ability can definitely be greatly improved. Even in the future, when the swordsmanship is cultivated to a high level, everything can be a sword, and it doesn't matter whether you hold a sword or not. What's more, as long as he has learned this set of sword skills, he can automatically level up, and he doesn't need to bother at all, picking up a skill for nothing. How could he refuse it? Grandpa Jian, I'm learning, teach me. Suddenly, Yi Feng's eyes brightened. This is your grandfather's sword's exclusive secret, others want to learn it but can't learn it. Jian Douluo stroked his beard proudly. Hey, Grandpa Jian, I must study hard. Huh, watch it. As he said that, Jian Douluo took out a wooden sword from nowhere, and began to practice each move. 7 kills swordsmanship is Sword Douluo's summary of his own swordsmanship. Every move and style is honed over time. A wooden sword is extremely sharp in his hand, and every move is full of murderous intent. Yi Feng stared at Jian Douluo's movements closely without blinking his eyes. He knew that this kind of opportunity is hard to come by, that is, if he were someone else, it would be impossible for him to obtain the inheritance of Sword Douluo. Ding, your martial spirit has been enlightened by Sword Douluo. Ding, you have learned the 7 kills sword technique. After Sword Douluo practiced the 7 kill swordsmanship, Yi Feng also heard a system prompt. Wow, I actually received a tip, thanks to Sakura_Sakura, Sword Dream Floating Life and Xiao Yuguang for their tip. End of this chapter. Chapter 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, your 7 kills sword technique. Watching Jian Douluo's 7 kills sword technique, I have a lot of insight, and my proficiency has greatly improved. Ding, your 7 kills swordsmanship has reached the level of proficiency. In the next moment, Yi Feng felt that a large amount of knowledge about swordsmanship appeared in his mind out of thin air. This knowledge, as if it existed in the first place, did not cause him any burden. Host, Yi Feng, martial soul, ordinary sharp-tailed swift, 2 out of 10, grade, th grade, soul skill, acceleration, small accomplishment, skill, 7 treasures glass meditation, Deshang, distraction control, 4 orifices persistence, strength increase, 20%, 0.7 kill swordsmanship, proficiency. It's amazing. Just watching it once, the 7 kills sword art has crossed 2 realms, directly from beginner to proficient. Yi Feng looked at Jian Douluo with a piercing spirit, wishing that such a good thing would happen again. Xiao Feng, how are you? Do you remember? After practicing the 7 kills sword technique, Jian Douluo turned to look at Yi Feng. Grandpa Jian, I only remember one thing. Yi Feng rolled his eyes and looked at Jian Douluo with a simple and honest face, as if he didn't remember much. It's okay, I'll just rehearse it for you a few more times. It's also because my swordsmanship is too advanced, and it's normal if I can't remember it for a while. Jian Douluo didn't feel that there was anything wrong, but turned his head to comfort Yi Feng. He was afraid that Yi Feng had always been going smoothly, but now he suddenly encountered difficulties and his self-confidence was hit. Thank you Grandpa Jian, I will definitely study hard. Yi Feng said gratefully. Although he has his own petty thoughts, Yi Feng respects Jian Douluo very much. Jian Douluo is indeed a respectable elder, including Ning Fengji and Bon Douluo. They have always been kind to him, which also gave Yi Feng a sense of belonging to the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. The 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School is really like his home. Next, Sword Douluo practiced even the 7 kills sword technique. After half a day passed, Yi Feng could smoothly practice the whole set of sword techniques. In fact, Yi Feng's 7 kill swordsmanship has progressed amazingly through Sword Douluo's practice many times, and he has reached the level of proficiency that it's just that he didn't show it in front of Sword Douluo. But even so, he was praised by Sword Douluo for his rapid progress. In the next few days, Yi Feng also slowly displayed the realm of swordsmanship in front of Jian Douluo until he reached the real realm. Not bad, Xiao Feng, you are already proficient in using the 7 kills sword art, and Grandpa Jian has nothing to teach you. Next, you can practice by yourself. After you have cultivated your swordsmanship to its essence, you can try to improve the moves in it. Don't stick to the form. Remember, swordsmanship is just a means, and you must not be limited by the routine of swordsmanship. Seeing Yi Feng's 7 kills sword technique changing day by day, Sword Douluo burst into laughter. Now, he couldn't wait to show off to Bon Douluo. Okay, Grandpa Jian, I will remember. Yi Feng said seriously. He, it seems that Xiaofeng has made good progress in swordsmanship, even Uncle Jian praised you so much. At this moment, Ning Fengji led Ning Rongrong to the training ground. Teacher. Yi Feng greeted with a smile. Let me tell you a piece of news. Tomorrow we can set off for the Min clan. This trip will probably delay a lot of time. You should also prepare for it. Ning Fengji spoke out his purpose. The Minzhi clan is not close to the 7 treasure glazed tiles sect, and it will take 2 or 3 months to go there and back, so during this period of time, Ning Fengji has been arranging the affairs of the sect, and it is only now that everything has been arranged. Okay, teacher. When he came to the Douluo continent, he hadn't gone out to see it. This time he had the opportunity to go out, so he could see the scenery of the Douluo continent, and in a few months, he will break through the 20th level. He has to prepare the second spirit ring in advance. The Min family has a deep research on the sharp-tailed swift martial soul, and he also wants to learn from it. Early the next morning, Yi Feng, Ning Rongrong, Ning Fengji, Sword Douluo, and the disciples of the 7 treasure glazed tile school who were extremely responsible for traveling, a group of 10 or so people set off from the 7 treasure glazed tile school in 2 luxuriously decorated carriages. The 7 treasure glazed tile sect is rich and powerful, and the carriage is very spacious. Inside the carriage, there is actually a special place for sleeping and resting. On the way of the carriage, Ning Fengji didn't waste any time, but took advantage of the time to teach Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong himself. Since accepting Yi Feng as his disciple, Ning Fengji didn't teach Yi Feng much, and he asked Sword Douluo and Bon Douluo for help. After all, he is the master of a sect, and he is usually quite busy. The whole morning passed quickly, and when it was almost noon, the voice of a Qibao glazed sect disciple came from outside the carriage. Sovereign, it's time to arrive. Hearing the voice, Ning Fengji stopped explaining, raised his head and said to Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong, let's go. Before we go to the Minzhi clan, we will introduce you to a senior, and it happens that he is also going back to the Minzhi clan. Go together. Teacher, are you talking about the Power clan? Yi Feng asked curiously. At the beginning, when Ning Fengji explained his life experience, he also mentioned the names of the 4 major clans by the way. Naturally, Yi Feng also knew about the friendship between the 4 major clans. Yes, the relationship between the 4 major clans is very good. Every year, they exchange information and participate in a gathering. I got news that the gathering place this time is in the Min clan, and it happens that the Li clan is also going, so let them lead the way. In fact, it doesn't matter whether you lead the way or not, the key is that the relationship between the Qibao glazed tile school and the Lizzie clan is pretty good, and it won't be abrupt to go with them. After explaining, Ning Fengji and Jian Douluo got out of the carriage together. Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong naturally followed behind. The Lizzie clan is located in the south of Tiando City. After Yi Feng got off the carriage, he saw a tall mansion. This mansion occupies a large area, and the tall courtyard walls alone are at least 6 meters long. In front of the mansion, there are 2 stone sculptures. These 2 stone sculptures are a bit funny because they actually look like gorillas. In front of the gate, stood 2 burly men. Their height was 2 meters away, their muscles were knotted, and even their clothes were crumpled tightly. A plaque hangs high above the gate of the mansion, and a large character of strength is written on the plaque. At this time, a disciple of the 7 treasure glazed tile sect had already come to the 2 big men and explained to them the purpose of his visit. After knowing their reason for coming, one of the big men quickly ran back to the mansion to report. Soon, a hale and hearty old man hurried out. Behind him, followed by several disciples of the Li Ji clan, each of them was strong and muscular. Before the person arrived, the rough voice had already passed. It is a great honor to welcome the Lord of the 7 treasure glazed tile sect to the Lizzie clan. Patriarch Tai Tan is polite. We are old friends, so there is no need to be polite. Ning Fengji smiled gently. Sect Master Ning, Your Majesty Sword Douluo, please come inside. Tai Tan warmly greeted. Regarding the 7 treasures Glazed Tile School, he did not dare to neglect, not only because of the strength of the 7 treasures Glazed Tile School, but also because the 7 treasures Glazed Tile School was rich. If it weren't for the cooperative relationship with the 7 treasure Glazed Tile School, life for their power clan would not be so easy. It can be said that the 7 treasure Glazed Tile sect is a major client of their power clan. End of this chapter. Chapter 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Under the warm reception of Tai Tan, Feng and his party came to a VIP room. Clan Chief Titan, are you ready? Ning Fengji asked. I'll just wait for you. Tai Tan said with a big laugh. By the way, is he the child you mentioned? Tai Tan turned his gaze and looked up at Feng. Some time ago, Douluo came here once, told him about Feng's life experience, and also inquired about some news about the Minzhi clan. Stared at by Tai Tan, the soul Douluo, Feng's expression did not change at all. He took 2 steps forward and looked at Tai Tan openly. Junior Feng, I have seen Senior Tai Tan. You're welcome. Our 4 major clans are connected with each other, and the old white bird and I are also old friends. You are his descendant, and that is also my descendant. Seeing Feng's calm appearance, a glint of appreciation flashed in Tai Tan's eyes. He and Douluo were also old friends, and he also knew some news about Feng from Douluo, especially when he heard that he was born full of soul power. He was even more shocked, adding that Feng is Ning Fengji's disciple and has the identity of the Min clan. Tai Tan is even more affectionate to him. Old white bird. Although he knew who Tai Tan was talking about, Feng could only pretend to be confused at this time. It's your grandpa. We're used to addressing each other randomly, and we haven't changed it for a while. Tai Tan smiled awkwardly. In front of the juniors, he was still a little embarrassed to call his old brother by his nickname. Hearing Feng's name, a young man behind Tai Tan showed a bright face. That look seemed to be very interested in Feng. Faced with such a straightforward gaze, Feng raised his head to look at him if he felt something. This is my useless grandson, Tai Long. I haven't seen Sect Master Ning and Senior Sword Douluo yet. Tai Tan stretched out his hand and gave Tai Long a slap, and said angrily. At this time, Tai Long looked like he was only 13 or 14 years old, and his rough face was actually a little green. After being slapped by the old man, Tai Long stood up honestly and saluted Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo. Young Tai Long, I have met Sect Master Ning and Senior Sword Douluo. Hearing Tai Long's name, Feng looked at him curiously. So this is Tai Long. After lunch, the Li Ji clan is almost ready. There are not many people on Tai Tan's side. Apart from Tai Long who set out together, there are several other second-generation disciples who are about the same age as Tai Long's father. With the addition of the Li Ji clan in the team, Ning Fengji and Jian Douluo didn't stay with Feng anymore. At the invitation of Tai Tan, they got into the carriage of the power clan. Coincidentally, Ning Fengji also wanted to establish a good relationship with the Li Ji clan. If possible, it would be even better to include the Li Ji clan into the 7 treasure Glazed Tile School. After all, a family of pure strength soul masters like the power clan is a powerful force. Obviously, Ning Fengji didn't know Tai Tan well, let alone that he was Tang Hao's loyalist, so it was impossible to win him over. Ning Fengji and Jian Douluo left, leaving only Feng and Ning Rongrong in the carriage. Brother Feng, are you there? At this moment, a familiar voice sounded outside the door. Feng opened the car door and saw that it was Tai Long. You are Tai Long. Feng looked at Tai Long curiously, not understanding why he was looking for him. What Tai Long, with our relationship, you should be called brother. Tai Long said dissatisfied. That Feng didn't answer his words at all. According to his inner age, he was already an adult, but in his eyes, Tai Long was at best a kid. Why, are you looking down on me? Tai Long stared at Feng with wide eyes, clenched his fists, and seemed ready to let him taste the power of his fists. Hey, you want to fight with me? Is this your real purpose? Feng asked amusedly. Tai Long couldn't hide his small thoughts in front of him. What? Aren't you a genius full of soul power? Are you afraid? Tai Long laughed. Huh, I want to fight, let's say it earlier, come on, let's find a place to fight one-on-one. Yi Feng's eyes lit up, and he also wanted to see Tai Long's current strength. Brother Yi Feng, I'll help you beat him together. Ning Rongrong raised his fist beside him and said. Okay, I won't bully you either, let's go together. Tai Long said proudly, to him, it doesn't matter if there is one more person, after all, judging by the ages of Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong, they just seem to have just awakened their martial souls, no matter how powerful they are, they won't be much stronger. If he hadn't been bored in the carriage, he wouldn't have come to them either. Soon, the three jumped out of the carriage and stood on the road ready to fight, of course. Their actions were not hidden from the eyes of Ning Fengji and others. You brat, just make trouble for me, and see if I don't smash his ass. Tai Tan showed a ferocious expression on his face. It's nothing to fight, the key is not to bully the weak. How could such a thing come out of his powerful clan? Hee, it's okay for juniors to discuss and exchange ideas, don't worry, your kid knows how to measure. Ning Fengji liked this scene very much. He felt that sometimes, it is good to let Yi Feng know that there is a sky beyond the sky, and there are people beyond people. On Yi Feng's side, they didn't know that their actions had been noticed by Ning Fengji and others, but even if they knew, Yi Feng wouldn't care. It was just a discussion, it's no big deal. Soul masters need to experience battles in order to grow faster. Tai Long, a powerful orangutan with a martial spirit, a great soul master of the attack system at level 23, please advise. Standing on the ground, Tai Long was the first to report his level. Yi Feng, the sharp-tailed swift of the martial soul, a soul master of the 14th level assault system. Ning Rongrong, martial soul 7 treasures glazed pagoda, 11th level auxiliary system soul master. Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong reported their grades successively. As soon as the words fell, Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong took the lead to act. Yi Feng summoned the martial soul and used the martial soul possession, while Ning Rongrong summoned the 7 treasure glazed tower to give him an auxiliary status. 7 treasures glazed turned out, one said, strength. Ning Rongrong stood on tiptoe and turned around in a circle as if dancing lightly. The first soul ring went up and covered the colorful pagoda. Under the guidance of Ning Rongrong's left finger, a beam of colored light was released and covered Yi Feng's body. Sensing Ning Rongrong's blessing increasing soul skill, Yi Feng had a thought, and also activated his simulated power booster at the same time. The two booster effects were combined, and his power instantly increased by 40.00%, with nearly half of his strength increased. Yi Feng is a little eager to try, maybe he can compare his strength with Tai Long. On the other side, with a low growl, Tai Long also used his martial soul possession, and his body began to change rapidly. The originally strong body swelled again, especially the muscles on the arms, which almost doubled in size. At the same time, the arm is also lengthening, even dragging to the knee position. The arms exposed on the short jacket are also covered with black hair, as if they have always been humanoid gorilla. Wow, your martial spirit is so ugly. Seeing Tai Long's appearance, Ning Rongrong exclaimed. Pfft. Yi Feng couldn't hold back and laughed out loud. The performance of the two made Tai Long feel black, wishing to beat them up on the spot. End of this chapter. Chapter 30 Tyrone was beaten. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Go ahead. Due to his age, Tai Long was too embarrassed to make the first move. Yi Feng didn't speak, and rushed towards him with one wing, expressing his attitude with actions. After Wu Huan evolved into a sharp-tailed swift, Yi Feng's speed had reached a certain level, and he came to Tai Long in the blink of an eye. Seeing Yi Feng's speed so fast, Tai Long was startled, and hurriedly raised his hand to block. It happened that Yi Feng also wanted to test how powerful the vigorous orangutan was, so he didn't dodge it. The bird's claws were slightly opened, and he punched him, ding ding dang. As soon as he punched out, Tai Tan only felt a strong force coming, and his body involuntarily took several steps back. How is it possible? Tai Long looked at Yi Feng in disbelief, and almost forgot to do it. His martial soul is a mighty orangutan known for its strength, and now he actually loses to an agility attack system soul master in terms of strength. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he would have thought he was dazzled. Are you really an agility attack system soul master? Tai Long was full of doubts about Yi Feng. Hearing this, Yi Feng shook his head hastily. How is it possible? I'm a strong attack type, not an agility attack type. It's a joke. Although the sharp-tailed swift does not have much attack power, but his martial soul can evolve. Maybe he can evolve into a phoenix in the future. That fat man Ma Hongjun can be an attack system soul master. Why can't he be? Humph, I didn't pay attention just now. Let's come again. Tai Long didn't care what department Yi Feng was in. He just wanted to save his face. If people know that he lost to an agility attack system soul master in terms of strength, he won't need to see anyone in the future. Come on, let me see how strong your strength is. Yi Feng's legs were slightly bent, and his hands were in a posture ready to strike at any time. In that posture, he could actually see a little bit of the 7-kill swordsmanship. Shadow. The first soul skill, Surge. Tai Long roared loudly, and the power on his body instantly became stronger. As a pure strength soul master, all of his soul ring effects increase strength. The first soul ring skill, Surge, can increase 1/4 of one's own strength. Boom. With the blessing of the soul skill, now Tai Long's strength is comparable to Yi Feng's. Alright, let's see my second soul skill, Cohesion. Originally, Tai Long didn't intend to use the second soul skill. After all, he is a soul master of more than 20 levels, and his soul power is stronger than Yi Feng. If he uses the second soul skill again, he will be a bit bullying, but at this point, he didn't care so much anymore. He just wanted to surpass Yi Feng in terms of strength, get back the lost face. The second soul skill, the condensed effect, also increases power. The first soul skill increases 1/4 of its own power, and the second soul skill continues to increase 2 layers of power on this basis. The 2 soul skills add up to a total of he increased his strength by half. Boom. Now, Yi Feng was at a disadvantage in front of Tai Long's power. However, what he has is not only strength. Soul skills, speed up. In an instant, the soul ring under Yi Feng's feet also lit up. The next moment, Yi Feng's speed was even faster. With the help of the acceleration soul skill, his body actually moved across the afterimages, and ran around Tai Long's body so fast that Tai Long couldn't even touch the corner of his clothes. Bang 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 bang. This time, Tai Long really became a clumsy gorilla. Facing Yi Feng's speed, he could only be beaten passively. In a short while, he was beaten black and blue by Yi Feng. Tai Long, you lost. Yi Feng paused after a set of combos. This kind of free sandbags is really cool. Ding, your martial soul has experienced a passionate battle, and the evolution rate of your martial soul has increased, and the progress is 3 out of 10. Ding, your 7-kill swordsmanship has gone through an actual battle, and your combat experience has increased, and your proficiency has greatly improved. The pleasant system notification sound made Yi Feng look at Tai Long with enthusiasm. It will take quite a while to go to the Min clan this time, and I thought it would be boring, but now it seems that this journey will not be lonely. Yeah, brother Yi Feng, we won, ha 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 ha. Gorilla, you are so stupid, you can't beat brother Yi Feng. Seeing Yi Feng win, Ning Rongrong jumped up happily. She also participated in this battle. Yi Feng defeated Tai Long, just like she defeated herself. Hee, let's go, the carriage is far away, and I'm afraid we won't be able to catch up after a while. Yi Feng hugged Ning Rongrong skillfully, and with the silvery white wings behind him spreading, his body instantly flew into the air, leaving behind a single sentence. He took Ning Rongrong and disappeared into the distance in an instant. Tai Long, let's take a step first, and catch up by yourself. Tyrone, damn, he didn't pay attention just now. But now he realized that the team's carriage had gone so far that it couldn't even see its shadow, when Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong caught up with the team and returned to the carriage. Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo had already returned. Before they could ask, Ning Rongrong had already rushed to the 2 of them, showing off the battle just now. After listening to Ning Rongrong's narration, Ning Fengji looked at Yi Feng with satisfaction. Haha, Rongrong and Xiaofeng are both good. This is the teamwork effect. The Lizzie clan is a pure strength soul master, and their strength is still good. You can beat Tai Long, which has proved your excellence. While praising them, Ning Fengji did not forget his teaching duty. As long as he had an opportunity, he would instill some principles in them. Different from the harmonious atmosphere here, on the other side, after Tai Long exhausted himself to catch up with the team and return to his carriage, he was caught and beaten up by Tai Tan, especially after knowing that he lost to the two children Yi Feng and Ning Rongrong. He was even more merciless in his attacks. If I beat you to death, you are a great soul master. You can't even beat two soul masters who have just awakened. You will lose all face. Tai Tan was beating and cursing at the same time, but he was surprised in his heart. He knew Tai Long's strength, but he lost to the two little guys unexpectedly. This had to surprise him with Yi Feng's strength. As expected of a genius full of soul power, it seems that the old white bird has found a treasure. For a moment, Tai Tan's face was full of smiles, but after looking at Tai Long, who had a bruised nose and swollen face, his attack became even more ruthless. Soon, as the evening approached, the team stopped advancing and began to set up camp to prepare for the night's rest. For this trip, whether it was Ning Fengji and the others, or Tai Tan and the others, they were well prepared. Things like tents and food have been prepared long ago. It was the first time for Ning Rongrong to experience camping, and she was very surprised. She got into this tent for a while, and ran to that tent for a while. Brother Yi Feng, can I live in a tent with you today? Let's have a whisper. Suddenly, Ning Rongrong ran up to Yi Feng and whispered in his ear. End of this chapter.